Good day, everybody. I hope that you're well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 7 English lesson on suffixes. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English language arts. We're doing grade 7. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of suffixes. All right. So when it comes to suffixes, right? Firstly, this is a continuation of our previous lesson on suffixes. And in our previous lesson, we made mention of words with full and words with less, right? So, like I said, this is a continuation of our previous lesson on suffixes. Our chapter is suffixes. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 7. And then the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of suffixes, it's words with able and able. So words with able and able. All right. So we're going to be doing words with able or able. And before we go on to words with able and able, a suffix, right? So we're going to find out what is a suffix. And a suffix can be added to the end of a base word. So when it comes to either prefixes or suffix, right, then we have a base word. And this base word is a word that can stand on its own. So this base word is a word that can stand on its own. So when it comes to our suffix, right, then a suffix can be added to the end of that base word. All right. And once we, for example, add our suffix, right, to the end of a base word, remember a base word is a word that can stand on its own. It has its own meaning. However, once you add a suffix to the end of that base word, and then it means that we are now going to create a new word. And knowing the meaning of a suffix, right? Knowing the meaning of a suffix, it can help you to determine the meaning of whatever the word is, whether the word is added to the base word. All right. And if we look at the our suffixes, right? It says the suffix is able and able. It's even the way you just say it, right? So, for example, able or able, both of it actually sounds like able. So the suffix is able or able, it means able to be. So once we add our word able or able at the end of our base word, it will then create a new word, even a new meaning of the word. All right. And if we look at a few examples, right? So we're going to look at a few examples of words that uses able or able. All right. So we use the word able, right? So we are then going to use the word able. Remember, we said that the meaning of the word is able to be. And able, yes, it means able to be, but it is more popular than us using the word able. Once we use the word able is still one, or it's basically still used in more of your older words that have basically just survived in modern English. And when we say it survived in modern English, and then it means that yes, we still use those specific words today. However, this word able was mainly used in olden day English vocabulary. And remember, we said that these words able and the words able and able, it can be added to the end of a base word. And we see that both of these words, it means either able to, or it means that you are capable of doing something. It means that you are capable of something, or we can say that you are fit for it. So fit of, or we can say it is worthy of. And that is what either able or able means. It means that you're able to be, or it means that you're capable of something, or it means that you're fit of something, or it means that you're worthy of something. That is what the meaning of these words able or able means. All right. And now we're going to look at a few words. For example, if we look at the word, let me use a different color, acceptable. There we have a word acceptable. We have the word available. We're first going to write down a few words and then we're going to say what the meanings of these words are. We have capable or We have remarkable. So far, this is, a few of our words. So we have acceptable, so acceptable, available, capable, remarkable. And if we look at the meanings of basically all of these words, being it's like accepting something, available, like available, you're hands on. I'm here, I can help. Capable and remarkable. And remember, we said that able means you are capable of doing something. You are able to be. So if we use the word acceptable, and then we can say that it is able to be accepted. It's worthy of acceptance. Available, I'm here. I'm availing myself. So these are a few words where we use the word capable, where we use the word able, sorry. So these are a few words where we use the word able. Remember, we said we use the word able, which still means, able to be. And then the word able, it is more of an olden form of the word that is still being used in modern language. So these words able, capable, acceptable, available, remarkable. It means that you are capable of doing something, able to be, worthy of it, or fit of something. All right. So we said that capable, available, acceptable, and remarkable. It means you are able to be accepted. You're capable of being available or availing yourself, and so on. Now, if we use the word able, and if we use the word able or able, it still means capable of something. All right. So now if we look at the word able, right? Remember we said able and able is basically the same. Able is just more used in the olden form of language, but it's still being used in modern, let's say, modern world, like the way we use English now. All right. So if we look at the few words, right, with the words able, and we can then say able is horrible. There we have the word able. It is either being flexible, you are flexible, or we can say it is possible. So these are but a few words that we mainly still use. All right. So if we look at the word horrible, flexible, possible, it is still the same like us using, for example, able to be, because horrible is the able to be either depending. Even flexible, if you look at the word flexible, and flexible and available is like kinda similar, because available, I avail myself. All right. And remember, we said able or able means it's either you're able to be, or you're capable of something, or you're fit of something, or worthy of something. That is what able or able mean. All right. So now we're going to A plus students.ca. And just keeping in mind, we see that a suffix is a word that can basically stand on its own. But once we add, so basically the suffix is added to a base word, and a base word can stand on its own. But now once we add the suffix to our, all right, so now we're going to words with able. So words with able. And remember we said that able means either being able to be or capable of something. All right, so now we're going to say which illness is curable. Which illness is curable? So curable, being able to cure. You see, so now all you do is you look at the word curable, because remember, able means that being able to be, being capable of doing something. So if we were to ask which illness is curable, then it means that we need to think of an illness that can be cured, that is able to be cured, that is capable of being cured, either by using medication or just taking a nap, going to see the doctor and feeling better in a few days' time. And if we were to say which illness is curable, remember something that can be cured. That is something that is curable, something that can be cured. Whether you have the flu, because remember with having the flu, you either have it for a few days, then they put you on medication and then it goes away, or you just have a cold. But it is basically an illness that goes away after being treated. All right. If we go into the next one, which, or let's say, which activity is less likely to be described as pleasurable? An activity that is less likely to be pleasurable. Something that is not much pleasurable. And an activity that might be less pleasurable, all right? Less pleasurable. It's not that much pleasurable. So something that is less pleasurable, not even, okay, not less, but pleasurable. Pleasurable. Being able to be pleasured, capable of pleasure. Not less, but pleasurable. All right. And something that is more pleasurable is doing something that you love doing, but something that is less pleasurable is doing something that you don't really like doing. All right. And one more, and then we're going to our test. So we need to say which is more solvable. Solvable. If you look at the word solvable, firstly we said able means able to be or capable of. So now if we say what is or which is solvable, things that can be solved or that is able to be solved. All right, and one last one, and then we're going to going to our test. It says which is solvable. If you look at the word solve, all right, and something that is solvable, right? It is something that can be solved. Whether it is an argument and you solve the argument, that means that that conversation or heated argument was solvable. You were able to solve it. Another thing that is solvable is, All right. And if we were to look at the word solvable, it is being able to solve something. All right. So we are now on a plus students.ca. All right. And remember, something that is solvable, it means that you're able to solve something, starting from a disagreement, something that someone took from you, as long as you are able to solve it or to fix it. And then, yep. All right. So now we're going to our test. All right. So now we're going to begin our test. So we need to say which is more arguable. Like you're able to argue about something. Is it option one, whether it's more fun to go to the beach or mountains that we're arguing about? Or option two, whether Antarctica is warmer than Amazon rainforest? We need to choose a word that is more arguable, something that you can argue about. All right. So, what is more arguable? Is it option one? Do we mainly argue about the fact that whether it is more fun to go to the beach or mountains? Or option two, whether Antarctica is warmer than Amazon rainforest? All right. And something that is more arguable. Yes, we can argue about going to the beach or the mountain. And think that we can argue about even more. This one is a bit tricky because remember you can either argue about the beach or the mountain or to say whether which one is warmer. Let's choose option one and see. Yes, and option one is correct. We are arguing to see if we should go to the beach or the mountains. The next one is which is predictable. Something that can be predicted. Predictable. All right, we need to say what is predictable. Is something predictable that says where the sun will rise? That is predictable. Or who will win the lottery? Is that predictable? Which one is predictable? Something that can be predicted. All right, and something that is more predictable is where the sun will rise. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on suffixes. Remember, we said a suffix is a word that can be added at the end of a base word. A base word is a word, however, that can stand on its own and it has its own meaning. But now, once the suffix is added to the base word, all right, so this is now the end of our lesson on suffixes. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining the class, and I really hope that you're going to have a good day further. So, till next time. All right. So this is now the end of our lesson. Goodbye. So till next time.